see, loving unconditionally is very dangerous, and it's very much a myth. And loving unconditionally is essentially unattainable.
Unattainable?
Absolutely.
What do you mean? I feel like I've loved unconditionally before.
Me too.
But you can
you
only allow somebody to treat you a certain way until you
break.
You break.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the StartUp Podcast. We got a new edition. We got Brian Noel back in the building after such a long absence.
It's all good.
And we got a special guest in the building, everybody. Birthday girl, everybody. Jenny, say what's up to the people.
Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy that I have this opportunity to talk to you guys. And I've been watching your podcast for about quite some time now. And I'm just happy to be here, and I'm glad that I have this opportunity to speak with you, too.
We're glad to have you. We're glad you came and joined the show.
Absolutely.
And how we start every single show since episode 1, we start the people off with a quick tip of the day. And my co-host today is Brian Noel, so he's going to give us the quick tip. And I need to hear something juicy, baby. I ain't seen you in like a month and a half, 2 months.
Well, you know what, man? I had to fess up, man. I got to fess up about the quote, the tip of the day, quick tip of the day, which is STC, stay the course. No matter what happens, no matter what life throws at you, you always got to stay focused, man. If not, I mean, I can't even tell what the result is going to be after that. So always stay focused, always stay driven, and always stay committed. I always say this in each and every single show. So I just want to value the importance of it when I say stay the course.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's easy to lose sight. So I feel like staying the course is imperative.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you both for that.
Thank you, Brian.
Quick tip of the day. Before we get really dive deep into our show, we got to get to our show sponsor, the Player Club. Brian, you want to start us off with the Player Club? I got something to add to it, but you start us off.
With what specifically?
The Player Club. Okay, I'll do it. I got you. Okay. So this show is brought to you by the Player Club. Player Club has one-of-one merchandise brought to you by at vintage_44_ on Instagram. That's vintage44_ on Instagram, the Player Club. He got one-on-one merchandise for hats, beanies, shoes.
Go get it.
Pants, shorts, hoodies, shirts. He got all that for you guys. Coming real soon. Summer right around the corner. And we got a surprise coming for all you guys. All our previous guests that's been on the show, every guest that's going to be on the show from here on out is going to get a StartUp/Player Club hat. Different colors. We got red, blue, tan, black, white. Coming out.
All the sort of colors.
30 days from now, we're going to have it all for everybody who's been on the show or who wants to be on the show. So that's a surprise for everybody. But let's get back to our show. So we got a guest here, Brian.
And you already know how we do it.
You know how we do it.
So
there's some things she wanted to talk about. We'll get to it. But first we gotta warm you up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
You can't just start, too slow with it. So Brian, I'll let you start this one off.
All right. So what do you do for a living?
For a living, I am a realtor, so I assist people in transactions of buying and selling homes.
Okay.
How'd you get started in that? Like, what made you decide, you want to be a realtor? Because you're pretty young. So what made you decide, I want to, sell homes? That's pretty big, It
really is.
I am young to do this, and I didn't like the idea of having someone telling me what to do. Some people need that structure in their lives, so I completely understand. But for me, I just didn't like the idea of being told what to do, and I liked the idea of having my own schedule and working for myself. So that's why I decided to pursue entrepreneurship through real estate.
Okay, so you basically feel like, with everything that's going on, just traditionally working a 9 to 5, you feel like that wasn't you in the process.
Yes, I felt like I didn't need that structure, and I felt like I was self-motivated enough to work for myself.
Got it. What indications have showed you that you were that ideal person for the entrepreneurship position?
I always liked. I didn't like the idea of having a boss, and I've always been ambitious, and I've always liked setting goals, and I've always liked pursuing those goals.
Okay.
Did you used to have a job and decided like, yeah, I'm done with this, and decided to go entrepreneur route?
Absolutely. So
tell us about that story.
I was working a corporate job, and I didn't like the structure of it. I didn't like.
What was the structure? I mean, what was the corporate job so people can get like an understanding?
Don't say no names.
I won't say the name, but it was for a corporate brand.
Okay.
And I didn't like the idea of being told when I can go to the bathroom.
Got it.
When I can take a break or stuff like that. So I just felt like I was ambitious enough to work on my own and not have somebody tell me how to or when to work.
Very inspirational.
Thank you.
Hey Dre, well, man, what are you thinking about that? What are you thinking about that? Because that is basically the path that, we had went on.
It took us a while to figure. It took me a while to figure it out. You one who like pushed me on the edge, like, bro, just do it. Like all those opportunities that were coming up, and I was like hesitant to jump off.
Right.
Brian was the one who was like, bro, God is telling you something. Like, listen to him. And I've been out my job for quite a while now, like a month and a half. And
describe that change,
bro.
Man. Describe the change. That's what I think that's what the viewers want to know too.
And in addition to that, what have you learned about entrepreneurship as opposed to working a corporate job?
What I've learned about entrepreneurship is that you are responsible for everything you do. Yeah. So if you decide to wake up and not do anything that day, that's on you. But if you don't get paid, you know why you didn't get paid. So that's the thing. Like since I quit my job, I've been traveling like nonstop. Like I've been just going LA, Texas. I went to Seattle. I've just been everywhere. Went to Mexico. That's a long story. Went to Mexico. I'm going to Mexico again next month. So it's just been a lot of traveling up and down the state. So it's like, to answer your question, being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it has its benefits, right?
Absolutely.
Because you create your own schedule. You are in charge of yourself, You run your own. It depends on what you're doing, right? But you can run your own business. If you're self-employed too, like if you decide not to work, you don't have to work. Same thing. It's just like you have like a business structure. You're working with the company. But I don't know. I like being an entrepreneur. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Like this is what I've meant to do. I always knew when I was in school, I went to school for nursing. I'm gonna just be straight up, right? I was 17.
That's all we expect, man.
I was 17 years old when I decided to be a nurse. Or I wanted to be in nursing. Only reason I picked it, which because they paid a lot of money. And there's a lot of women in the field. Only reason I picked it, 17 years old. After a while, I knew all along I wanted to own my own business, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. I thought I had to get a business degree, do a bunch of stuff. And then one time I met this guy at a graduation party, and he had told me, like, he was a real estate investor. I had no idea what that was. He's from Atlanta. From Atlanta. He was a real estate investor. I had no idea what that was. I was like, you like real estate and like sell houses, whatever? He's like, no, we do flips. We have rentals, short-term rentals. All like we're sitting for 2 hours just conversating. I was like, bro, like it was like a boom moment,
Right.
Next day I go home, I Google I'm just in it, just digging deep. I might have been like 22 at the time, and since that day, like that day changed my whole life. Like if I never had that conversation, I'd still be on that forklift. Real talk. So yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
That's real. That's definitely real.
Yeah. But speaking of Atlanta, bro, let's get how was Atlanta? You was out there for a month, damn near. So what's up?
Tell me how it was actually about for like 2 weeks, man. But Atlanta was absolutely a plentiful experience, and I'll tell you why. The people are different. The environment is different. You just generally have a culture shock. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as you get down there, it's like the littlest things as far as like the wind, as far as like, oh my God, it was a gang of mosquitoes down there, man. Oh my God.
Hella humid?
Humid, it was. And the people are just absolutely nice, just willing to help you out with anything.
Southern hospitality.
The hospitality. Y'all, if you hear about Southern hospitality.
But I would love to go to the South.
If you hear about Southern hospitality, man, what you hear is what you should believe. Because I've personally been there and I absolutely loved it. There's a whole bunch of Jamaican restaurants down there. There's a whole bunch of entrepreneurial spirits down there. and there's a whole bunch of restaurants that you haven't even, touched in, as opposed to living in Cali. And not to mention, gas prices is $3.80.
Bro. Don't even mention gas prices.
And minimum wage is like about $8. Minimum wage is $8 down there as well. You know what I mean?
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
But the cost of living is cheap down there.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
Same difference.
Would you ever live in the South?
I would.
What's stopping you from going down there? Like down south, like dirty south we talk about.
Nothing is stopping me.
Then what's keeping you here? That's the question.
My family. I love being close to family because I feel like family is very important. It's one of the many things that I value in life.
Do you have a big family?
I don't, but I feel like I have such a small family. That's why I keep them so close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that. What about you?
Likewise, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking about moving down south.
Oh, I'm moving down there in 3 months, man.
No.
I went there one time. I never want to stay here again, man. I'm just like, there's newer opportunities down there. There's the people are very very beautiful down there, you know, as far as like personality is concerned. And thirdly, bro, everybody wants to help you out with your goals, man. We tell one person about your goals. Oh, I got this, and this, and this, and this for you, man. I
got you, right?
Just like, you know what I'm saying? They just want to make sure that you good.
Networking. That's another thing. Ever since I quit my job or whatever, I've networked like a motherfucker on accident. Just been doing it.
Right.
And I've met so many people, and it's not like I'm doing it on purpose, but
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just,
and they say like business is a people business, and I totally agree.
It is.
And it's like
it's just
you said,
who you know.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's all who you know. Like,
it's not what you know, folks. It's what you. It's who you know.
There's some
Who
people.
you know.
There's some people I know who work in corporate jobs that are like the best communicators ever, and I'd be telling them like, bro, just get a side hustle, just doing sales somewhere. You're gonna kill it. Like, they never listen to me. They don't like register. They think, oh, it's too hard. It's like, I'm like, bro,
they're used to what they used to, man.
I know. And it's I see what they're going through, and they wonder why they're struggling. I'm like, just try this. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You go back to what you're doing.
Right.
You know, like there's a few people I know like that, and you know, I wish them the best. Like, I'm over here just trying to look out for people.
Right.
You know, they're already doing well. Even if they're already doing well, and I see they can do better in a different field, I'll just give them a little nugget. Like, hey, you ever thought about doing this? You know, so I just put that in the head, and they'll think about it. Some people have jumped on it. Some people haven't.
Have you heard that saying, man? It says that if you teach a man to fish, he will get. If
You know, fucked up the saying
if you
already.
Fish, look, listen. If you fish one time, you're gonna eat one time, right? But if you teach a man how to fish for a lifetime, then him and his family is gonna eat, especially for a lifetime.
Speaking of that, I want to get to another topic, and it's relating straight to that.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about letting people borrow money? Like, so if someone comes to you and asks you, hey, can I borrow like $1,000 and I pay you like in 2 weeks? How do you go about that? Do you let them do it? It depends on who it is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about letting people borrow money, family or not? Whoever wants to jump on that, because I have a take on it for sure.
Yeah, I definitely have a take on that. If it was a family member, I would feel guilty not to lend them that money just because I have such a big heart. So it's very a contradicting feeling because you don't want to let them down.
It is.
So I would have essentially end up lending my family members
so
the money.
You give in most of the time, you're saying?
Absolutely, because I don't want to see them
struggle.
Exactly. It's
what if you don't get paid back? How do you feel? If you don't get paid back?
taken advantage of.
Do you like that feeling?
Absolutely not.
Then why do you lend the money?
Because they're family members and I love them unconditionally, which can be a bad thing.
Before you go, here's another question. So what if they say they needed the money for one thing, you give it to them and they use it for something else, and then don't pay you back? Oh, because that's like a highly likely scenario.
That has definitely happened to me before, and I feel let down. I definitely feel let down and
disappointed, disgusted,
But it's like I feel like if I confront them, then I'll come off as negative and rude. So
it's your money.
Absolutely.
I mean, I get you though. I do get you, Brian. Go ahead. What you got on this? Because this is a big topic. I want to talk about this.
It really is. This is a very controversial topic as well. I mean, I feel like Okay, so I had a scenario one time. One. I'm not gonna say names, but
Don't say names.
One individual had asked me for about $500, and I loaned him $500. It was my last $500 too, bro. To make matters worse, bro, it was my last $500, and he had used it for something else, and he didn't pay me back for a whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Was he ducking you?
Huh?
Was he ducking you the whole
bro,
year? Like you couldn't even know where he was.
I have never heard
from him.
I've never heard so many excuses from somebody who owed me my $500 before. But I mean, moral of the story is, I mean, after that, man, I really took that experience, man, and I'm like, you know what? How else would I, come at the situation at hand? But in all reality, you don't really know what a person is gonna do, man. But
Never know.
I'm a firm believer in, what you give out is what you're gonna put back, what you're gonna get in return. So positivity always wins. The good always wins. So no matter what you do, as far as good or bad, I feel like that'll return to you. You know what I'm saying? So that $500 ended up returning back to me in a different form. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to that certain individual who, he didn't give me my $500 back, but after a year. But I mean, still, like, I still had, a couple of, I still had some funds to, to return back in my, to where it was, located in, previously. So
I'm gonna give you two stories. I'm gonna give you two sides of the spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you want the good or the bad first?
We always want to go with the good first.
So I'm gonna give you the good first. This is what happened. So back in the day, my boy, he needed some money, right? And this has been my boy for years, like years.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? He needed some money, and just out of the blue, he asked me, "Hey, bro, can I borrow $5? I'll get you back next Friday."
Wait, $5 or 500 or 5,000?
I think we know.
I think he knows. He needed $5, right? He niggas at $5.
Hey man, I'm just trying to be a little funny, man. That's all it is.
All right. Yeah, so homie needed $5. He hit me up like, "Hey, bro, can I borrow $5? Not $5. He needed $5, right? And he gonna pay me back next Friday." And without hesitation, I sent it to him and his girl, like, "Hey, here, take care of it. I know you guys are gonna give it back to me."
Right.
Came back next Friday, got the money with interest. No hesitation. And I was like, "Oh, cool." Like,
okay.
Even if he didn't, like, I gave it away, not expecting it back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if he pays it back, cool. If not, like, I know he needs it, though. He would never ask me unless he needed it.
Right.
You feel me? So I gave it to him. Got it back with interest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one situation. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, now me and him, anytime he needs it, I got him. Like,
right.
Because I know he'll do
you
it back.
Establish that relationship, that trust.
But there's, on the other side, bad story, right?
Lord of mercy. Damn, you had to take a deep breath. That's how I know it's bad.
So one time I was sitting out. I went back home for this one. I was back home, and I'm sitting out like a Target, just sitting out like drinking coffee, or Starbucks, I mean, and not drinking coffee, but like outside, right, on my laptop. And I get a call. This person like asked me like, "Hey, I need to do this move. It's in a big investment, and I need 13 from you." I said 13. I was like, "How soon you need it by?" This was a Thursday. They said no later than Monday. I said 13 by Monday. I was like, it's not gonna happen. No way.
Right.
Not gonna happen, right? In my head, I'm already knowing, like, I'm not doing this. I already made up my mind, no. Like, but I'm listening to everything they're saying. And just all the bullshit they was coming out with, just, "Ooh, and I need it for this, and and I'm gonna pay you back in 2 weeks." I was like, this is how I feel. If the bank don't trust you to give you 13,
I'm not gonna trust you.
If you don't got the credit to get 13, and you expect me to just give you the 13, you gonna pay me back? Just like, no. It was no. So this is how I feel about borrowing money. Family or not, I 99% of, like, that's 95% of the time I'm gonna say no. Like, just because it
don't you feel guilty though?
Yes, but let me get to it.
Okay.
I say no because if I let you borrow the money and you don't pay me back, it ruins our relationship, friendship, whatever. Right? If I say no to you and we see each other next time, if you feel some type of way from me because I said no, then that's on you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You shouldn't have to depend on me for whatever amount of money it was.
That's right.
So you feel me? But if I give it to you and I never hear from you again, or you never decide to pay me,
that's on them.
That's on them. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I just like, no. Unless I'm okay with like losing whatever amount of money it is, and I'm like, you know what, here, But most of the time, I'm not okay with losing any amount of money. So I'm just like, hell no. Like, no. You feel me? But if I know you're going to pay me back, that's that 5%. There's only 5% of people I will give the money. I know they got me, and there's no hesitation. So that's what that is. But that's my take on it. But 95% of the people, it's a no. Just don't ask, bro. If you don't think you're in the 5%, just don't ask.
That is a very touchy subject, man. I mean, you never know who could, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's wolves in sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't even know what you're gonna be stepping into half of the times.
I've dealt with that though. Like when people not pay me back, I used to be the nicest person in the world, and just cool, and then you won't hear from them for months, and then you might get like half of it back.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like,
I've had my fair share.
I'm done with dealing with all of it. Like, all right, cool. If you didn't pay me, if you wasn't gonna pay me $30 back, how you gonna pay me $300 back? You feel me? Yeah. Hell no. So I know there was some other topics you wanted to get into. Do you want to bring those up?
Absolutely.
What do you want to bring up? You ask us these questions, and we'll bounce them off for you. So what question did you want to bring up? Because you came on the show for a particular reason.
Absolutely. Do you mean topics?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I came here today to discuss the topic of unconditional love and how that can be dangerous and potentially lead to toxicity. We kind of touched on that earlier, talking about borrowing money. And I feel like...
Would you let a spouse or ex-spouse borrow money? Like a good amount, let's say like $2,000.
An ex-spouse?
Ex-spouse.
Absolutely not. They're my ex-spouse for a reason.
That's right.
Why not? If you love them unconditionally, like you probably still love them. I'm saying, would you still let them borrow the money?
Knowing what I know now, no.
Elaborate.
You see, loving unconditionally is very dangerous, and it's very much a myth. And loving unconditionally is essentially unattainable.
Unattainable?
Absolutely.
What do you mean? I feel like I've loved unconditionally before.
Me too.
But you can only allow somebody to treat you a certain way until you break. So loving unconditionally is unattainable. You have to love with conditions. And
so does your mom love you unconditionally? Because I feel like she will never break.
Absolutely. I feel like when you're talking about relationships with a child, loving unconditionally is possible. Different. It's very possible because they need nurture.
Right. But
when you're talking about relationships, that's a different scope, and that's
different type of love.
Absolutely.
So you don't think? So what I'm hearing from you is, you don't think in your life ever you're gonna find someone who loves you and you love them completely unconditionally, like how your mom loves you.
No, absolutely not. And that's why my past relationships have broken.
But you're young.
I know.
But I mean, you can't let age define a person, though. You know what I'm saying?
I can. In this situation, I can. Because with age comes experience.
But when we're talking about relationships, there is no such thing as unconditional love. That's why you set boundaries in a relationship to set the tone for the whole relationship, so it doesn't become toxic.
I gotta interject here.
The word, I'm gonna let you go real quick, but the word unconditional, let's just define that real quick. So no matter what that person does, you will still love them, right? That's
absolutely that is what unconditional.
I think that is
means.
attainable.
It is attainable
in a relationship, not just siblings, parents, whatever. In a relationship, I don't know you, don't know me. We get together, we've been together a long time, and now we love each other. I think that's attainable.
So let me ask you this. If your partner abuses you or lies to you or cheats on you, would you still love them?
I think I would. But that doesn't mean I would be. But that doesn't mean I'd be with them. That doesn't mean I'd be with them.
I don't know.
Just because I love them doesn't mean I have to be with them. Does that make sense?
Hold on, we're going a little bit too deep. I wanted to ask something. It was going to be correlate.
So if you love unconditionally, does that give your partner a reason to do whatever they want?
Oh, that's a good one.
No, that doesn't give them a reason to.
And it gives them a free out of jail card.
No.
Essentially.
No.
That's what unconditional love is in relationships.
You can still get mad at them and pissed off them, but you can still love them.
So if
I get pissed at my sisters all the damn time, and I love them.
So if you had a partner, You would allow them to do whatever they wanted.
That's not what I'm saying.
Because you love them unconditionally. See, that's where it becomes toxic.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, I love you so much, like, do whatever you want and you come home and everything could be okay. No. I will still love you, but I can walk away from you. That's not, you get what I'm saying? Like, I can go love somebody else and still love you unconditionally. I can go find somebody else because you're acting like this and still love you unconditionally. I'll probably love you the rest of my life, but I'm not going to be with you.
But
because you don't respect me. Because you don't respect me.
Okay, but we're talking about relationships.
Right?
We're talking about relationships.
You hear me?
I hear that.
I know, I'm talking about relationships.
But you
I
said
can
you
love
would walk,
somebody.
But you said you would walk away.
I would walk away from you.
We're talking about being in a relationship together.
I still love that person, but I'm not with them anymore. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, but we're talking about loving.
So I have to stay with them to love them.
Absolutely.
No,
and
I don't.
That is where it becomes a toxic cycle because you're allowing this behavior from a person.
That's how these on and off relationships happen.
Absolutely.
I'm not the type for that. Like once it's over type shit. You know? So if we get into a dispute, I did something, you did something, cool. We probably still love each other, but we're gonna go other ways.
Loving from a distance.
Loving from a distance. I can love you unconditionally from a distance. I'll love you till you're 80, and we broke up at 20. You know? But I'm with somebody else now. It's cool.
And do you think if you loved in the beginning with boundaries, essentially meaning conditions, so if you loved with conditions, do you think you would still be together?
I get what you're saying, as like unconditional, as in like there's no bounds. Like you can do whatever you want and whatever. Like
but when it comes to relationships, there's no such thing as unconditional love. Unconditional love is unattainable.
Because of boundaries.
Absolutely.
Because boundaries are set in relationships.
Absolutely.
So Will and Jada love each other unconditionally.
Yes, but you see how that turned out, right?
That was a good one.
You know, why would I date a man who doesn't meet my conditions?
I think Will meets Jada's conditions. Jada, let's just say, you know? Go ahead, Brian. We've been going back and forth here. I'm going to let you go.
Hey, man. Yeah, I've just been letting y'all have y'all disputes, but I have a question for the both of y'all since I was a mediator amongst both of y'all.
Let's get it. I can answer anything.
Describe love.
Go ahead, you go first, because I can go all year.
Because love is being used loosely nowadays.
True.
So describe love. Describe love. I really want to know.
And if you have, describe how you were in love.
I have been in love, but I think that I loved unconditionally.
So you're not in love anymore?
I am not in love anymore, but I still do love him from a distance.
So you have love for the person?
I have love for the person.
But did you have love for his personality?
Absolutely.
So do you still love him?
I do.
Okay. So you're in love still?
No, I'm not in love.
Wait, how does that work? Wait.
No, let her explain it.
Okay,
you gotta explain that.
No, I really want to get to understand this.
I was with this person, and at that time, I loved him unconditionally.
Okay.
And that allowed me to accept behaviors that were admissible.
Toxic.
Exactly, because I loved him without conditions. So I would allow certain behaviors time after time after time consistently until I burnt out.
And then you were tired of it.
Absolutely. And I feel like
if I set
conditions, if I set boundaries beforehand, it would have set the tone for the whole relationship.
Now, I go by the saying, your experience is your best life teacher. So I honestly believe that, we experience as a young child, being loved and nurtured by our family members and stuff like that. I honestly feel like, we, no matter what, our parents do or say or whatever the case is, I feel like we have the understanding that no matter what a person does, we still love them. So right when we leave the nest and we go towards somebody else that we supposedly love, whatever the case, whatever the definition means to anybody, I feel like they're still holding on to the meaning of love from their parents, and they're passing it down into themselves. And then they, whatever person that they are attracted to, they're like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm gonna you're there, you're still staying in that same, you know, frame of mind, saying like, okay, no matter what this person does or say or whatever, I'm gonna love them unconditionally, in your words. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel so. What is your take on? I honestly want to know. And what is your take on that? After Miss Jenny speaks.
I feel like children, they need unconditional love, but adults who are in relationships, they don't.
They don't need it.
They don't need,
or they can't
Absolutely.
attain it. There's a difference. I don't need nothing, but I can attain a lot. Amen.
They can't attain unconditional love.
I'm sorry. I had to laugh at that. That was
Children-
funny.
Children need love. Children
Right.
need love no matter what.
Okay.
But
Children, yes.
if you're in a relationship in adulthood, then I feel like love is conditional.
I feel like
because you are expecting a certain
Explain
thing.
conditional love
Okay.
versus
yeah,
unconditional love.
You go first, because I feel like I was in an unconditional love relationship for a while,
Me too.
a long while,
I would love to, value.
and then it became conditional love, and then we weren't together.
Absolutely. So when you love unconditionally,
Let me say one thing: unconditionally doesn't mean for eternity.
no.
Speak in layman terms so everybody can understand.
doesn't-
Just
Unconditional.
because you love somebody unconditionally doesn't mean you have to love them forever
No,
unconditionally.
You do not have to love
So
someone.
unconditionally is obtainable, but it doesn't have to be for an eternity. You can love somebody unconditionally for like a year. Doesn't mean you have to love them unconditionally for 80 years.
In addition to that, listen.
genius, I know.
In addition to that, and I want to know if you guys, believe in what I believe in. What I went through, it literally shifted my mindset to where I said, well, where I believed, where I have to value the strength of the relationship instead of the length of the relationship.
Absolutely.
What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely. I think that you should value.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Let me hop on this. So you said
Time doesn't mean anything in a relationship. I think it's contingent upon how you get through things and how you work through things. I don't think time really has a value when you talk about relationships.
I think
because you can be with somebody for 10 years,
Right.
but if they don't treat you right, then those 10 years
didn't matter,
are
right?
Doesn't matter.
essentially
some guy who
meaningless.
treated you, or a girl, whoever treated you right for a year or two, could trump all those 10 years that you were with that other person.
Absolutely.
And I've seen it happen. I've seen people get married after 2 years.
But wait, hold
after
on.
they got out of an 8-year relationship. That's crazy. In my head, that's crazy.
Time does
But
not
I
have,
get it.
Time doesn't have a value.
Time is the most valuable.
Time is the most. I was just
Time
about
is the
to
most
say
valuable
that.
thing you have.
Because
in my
we only
opinion,
have one life.
10 years, 5 years, 7 years, that's a long time. In my head, if you're with somebody 5, 7, 10 years, that's a long time.
And listen, with that time that has elapsed, right? You could be that person. I mean, that person could either be an asset or a liability in your life. You know what I'm
True,
saying?
absolutely.
Point blank, period.
True.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care who your folks is. I don't care about none of that. It's about giving intangible assets instead of tangible assets. What I mean by that is if a woman specifically is giving me an intangible asset, which is, hey, I would like to teach you something, as opposed to, hey, I have this, that does not mean nothing to me.
Absolutely.
Feel me? I got a question. This is for you, Brian.
Okay.
How can you tell when a woman is taking advantage of you?
Oh, honestly, I honestly feel like, taking it. I mean, I feel like you got to look at the little things, man. Because I go with the saying, it's, the way how you do small things, the way how you do all things, right? So I look at a woman for what she is and what she does. What she is, meaning that, how she carry herself, how she talk, how she do different things like that. That actually depicts a picture of, how, she is as her character and different things like that. And, how she does regular things. It's like, okay, if she, let's just say, she cooks for you, she cleans for you, she does different things like that, I honestly feel like, that should be taken into high consideration. You know what I'm saying? So how you being taken advantage of? I feel like, if new age, women that's coming up, or females, young women that's coming up, young girls that are transforming into women. I honestly feel like, I've been seeing that they're all about money, they're all about show, and they're all about other things like that. So I feel like, as soon as you start seeing that your boundaries are being crossed, and they're I just feel like if you're bound, if you set guidelines, point blank period, if you set guidelines and they cross it, I feel like that's taken advantage of. No matter what you say or do, I feel like there's a level of respect amongst the two peers.
Can somebody who loves you unconditionally still disrespect you?
Absolutely.
But they can still love you.
But they can still love you.
If someone, that's what I'm saying. Can you love somebody unconditionally but still disrespect them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
and if that person disrespects you, will you not love them unconditionally anymore?
I mean, if you love somebody unconditionally, essentially you're giving them a valid reason to love you no matter what. So essentially they can treat you however they want because they know that you will love them no matter what.
I think the sad part is
I think that's
correct.
Hold on. I think that's the reason why people take advantage of.
You take advantage of somebody.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta break it down.
And that is why in the beginning you establish boundaries, so you know what you expect from your partner, and vice versa.
People who have these like fragile relationships later on, no matter how many years it goes down, is because they didn't set boundaries early on.
Right.
Yeah,
right?
And you're seeing that
they didn't say what was okay, what's not okay.
And you're seeing that a lot. I feel like nowadays people will ask like, my relationship is so toxic. What can I do? What can I do? And people often will say, set boundaries.
But
setting boundaries will set the tone for the relationship so that later on you don't.
Remember the last podcast that I was on, the plan of the decision?
Yeah,
I want to correlate that in with this one right now.
Throw that in real quick because I got a question for her.
So listen, I honestly feel like it's when you set out certain guidelines and whatever the case is, boundaries or whatever, right? I feel like that is a plan for the relationship.
You plan in the relationship.
You plan for the relationship.
Absolutely.
Right?
You know what I did?
As soon as but I'm gonna get into it, man. Why you do that to me? As soon as you get into the relationship, of course, I mean, Mike Tyson said it's best, man. You can have a plan before you go into the ring, but those plans get out as soon as you get punched in the mouth. Because you expect that you're not expecting the unexpected. You're going in like, this man or woman is dreamy, because that's the infatuation stage.
Mm-hmm.
After that stage passes, you like, God damn, this is a whole nother person I never even expected. You know what I'm saying? So, the point of that whole thing is, I honestly feel like, it's just a matter of, it's just a matter of respect, man. That's just all it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? So, relationships can go with like a very, very, it's very vague. I feel like relationships and love is very, very vague.
Let me get this question off, right? And I low-key forgot what it was. Okay.
It's all good. Take a beat.
Take a second.
Take a beat.
So, loving unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Loving in a relationship, deciding, planning.
Right.
We talking about all that right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, when do you know you're in love? Like, how you personally? I'm asking you. She answered, but you didn't answer that. How do you know when you're in love?
Man, honestly, bro, how I know I'm in love, man, that's kind of like a vague topic, man. I mean, everybody's in the pursuit of finding themselves, man. So I feel like love changes for, different people. And I feel like, since love is a vague topic, I feel like people have their own meaning of what love actually is and what love actually is There's no set in stone of definition of what love is. So I honestly feel like, once you, I'm trying to say the correct words here so, people could, pick it up here. So, I mean, I honestly feel like, love is just, it's not more or less of feelings, because feelings can change every single time. But I feel like love is just a, just based off of, what your character's like. I feel like, love is an alignment of moral values.
Let's listen to this, bro. Brian,
What's going on?
you single?
I am single.
How long you been single?
I've been single for a year now.
How do you like being single? What does being single mean to you? What's the difference from being single to you and being in a relationship? Talk about that to the people.
Okay. Being single to me, it's having a relationship with yourself, man. Before you go into any relationship, you have to know yourself before you know somebody else. So if you know yourself, you know how to set guidelines, you know how to set boundaries and things of that sort. And you know how to treat the other person how you would like to be treated, because you know yourself, right? So I honestly feel like that's a hard question. That's honestly a hard question. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, because I mean, in the Bible, I could literally take out spiritual sayings, man. In the Bible, it says, if you know yourself, I mean, no, you want to treat others how you would like to be treated. So I honestly feel like self-love is the best love before you get into any type of relationship. I mean,
absolutely. You need to learn to love yourself first before you love somebody else.
Let's get into that love yourself.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Because I need some people to really hear that, right? So I've been single. I don't know how long I've been single.
Shit.
How my life? I got a question for you. How have you seen me different since I've been in a relationship and now?
Honestly,
you've seen the transformation.
I have. I've been there. Honestly, bro, you've grown way more when you were single than in a relationship.
Why do you say that?
I say that because I feel like, based on what I've known, about you when you were in a relationship, I feel like there was a lot of things that you were listening to, and you didn't really, because we're in the process of learning ourselves. So I feel like you were learning yourself, right, when you were in a relationship with your woman at the time. And I honestly feel like you had a lot of holdbacks because you were trying to please your woman. You were trying to please your woman. You was trying to do things by her side. Meanwhile, you're probably neglecting what you want for yourself.
That's very a contradictive feeling.
Keep going.
I'm only just saying that because I've been through the same thing.
When you're loving yourself and you're trying to find what you want for yourself as well, it's a contradiction.
It was tough.
It
I
is.
ain't gonna lie.
It is.
I mean, you're mostly right there. I was trying to please a person,
right,
and find out who I was and please myself at the same time. Those things didn't mesh. And once I figured out who I was, and once those things started to come to life.
Now, before you say that, when you went through your recovery phase after the breakup,
okay,
did you have to find yourself right after the recovery phase again?
It was more than finding myself. I did have to take time to myself. Like, you are right. I had to take time to myself. I traveled a lot. We went to San Diego. We went to a bunch of places, right? Traveled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to get out of town. I just kept myself busy.
Right.
And I wasn't looking to get into another relationship. I would talk to other people or whatever just to communicate, but it wasn't like to get in a relationship. It was just to buy time. Not even buy time. Just I don't know what to call it, but it was a time being while I was learning myself. And now maybe it took, I say about January, February, right?
Mm-hmm.
I finally found out okay, this is what I'm here for. That's why you see this podcast starting to turn up. Right. That's why you see these real estate deals starting to turn up. That's why you see me going out of state, out of the country, just moving, not asking questions. I don't got to ask nobody for permission. Mm-hmm. I don't have to ask somebody to watch my kid.
Absolutely.
I don't have to do none of that because I'm free. I'm 100% free. I don't have a kid. I don't have a girl. Right? I'm single.
Now, let me ask you a question. So, did you feel like you lost a piece of yourself in your ex-woman? I'm gonna go deep. Definitely go deep.
What do you mean?
At the time,
did you feel so?
I lost half of myself. I felt like I lost half of myself.
And did you fully heal before you found yourself?
No. I wouldn't say I'm even fully healed. I say I'm I'm like, I'm back in battle. Like, what's up? But I'm not. I wouldn't say I was like fully healed. You know what I mean? Like maybe 90%.
We'll never forget about our ex because
Exactly.
we gave majority
being fully
of our
healed
life to
means like I don't gotta even like she's not even a thing anymore. Like,
right. That's
right?
not possible because
not
she
possible.
was a thing for
a long
a
time.
majority of your life.
It was a long time.
You know what I'm saying?
She helped me get to the point where I'm at now. I can't just deny.
Absolutely.
I can't deny and say she didn't. Right.
Right.
So I can't sit here and act like this is all me. She built me into the man who got to this point, but without her, there wouldn't be this. There wouldn't be this show. And I'm just being real.
In addition to that, I believe that, you know, people are in your life for a reason and a season.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
Come on now.
Preach to the people.
Give me 3 taps. Give me 3 taps, man. For real though, I really, in all seriousness, I really believe that people are in your life for a reason and a season. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it kind of depends on, you know, that I can correlate that saying and what I'm about to say right now, which is, you know, you only
get the guests back in the show too.
You only allow what you people will only treat you the way how, you know, people would want to treat you based off of what you allow. And that's kind of what you were saying before.
That's what goes in hand with conditional love.
She loved that conditional shit.
I know.
She loved that.
You need to set boundaries.
Oh, that's the question. That's the question I had.
Because if you don't set boundaries, people will treat you as they want to.
Give me an example of boundaries in a relationship. Like, to you. I need examples of boundaries. You're saying the word boundaries, right? What does that mean?
Absolutely.
Because you keep saying that, so some people have different definitions of boundaries. I have my own definition, but what's your definition?
That is true. And boundaries in relationships essentially can mean conditions. And we talk about unconditional love. And we talk about no matter what, no matter if you cheat on me, no matter if you lie to me, no matter if you abuse me.
Quick question, just yes or no question. Could you trust somebody after they cheated on you?
Absolutely not. And that is why.
Is it because you hold grudges? Or is it because of you or is it because of him? That's my question.
It's because of me. I can't be with somebody who would treat me in such a manner that made me feel that way, that disrespected me to that level.
Got it.
And that is why it is so essential to set boundaries in relationships. And I think nowadays it is so essential to set boundaries in relationships because when you get into a relationship, you don't necessarily know what you are expecting unless you set conditions. Nothing good in life comes without conditions, you know? You can't get into an Ivy League school unless you obtain...
She went to Ivies.
Unless you obtain good grades, right? You can't earn the reward unless you put in the good work, you know? So everything good in life comes with conditions.
Work.
Absolutely.
You got to put the work in.
Now listen, so what are those conditions based out of? Like, what is the foundation to where...
Wait, she didn't even answer my question. What are boundaries to you? Like...
I was getting to that.
She didn't answer it though. I'm mad.
I was gonna bring it back.
I think boundaries depend on the relationship. You know, there are different boundaries with different relationships.
I want you to go a little bit different. I want you to go a little bit deeper.
You're not getting deep. You're like surface level.
Not different, deeper.
This is the startup podcast.
We have to go deep. We gotta make the viewers know about you, the way how we think, the way how we move.
Okay, absolutely.
Get deep.
When we talk about boundaries, we talk about things that are admissible to people and things that are not.
What do you mean by that? Layman terms. You know, for the different viewers.
So things could be okay with people in relationships, depending on the person. You know, so it's very important to set boundaries in a relationship because it'll set the tone for that relationship.
Got it.
And people will know what to expect.
Now, I want you to break down. I want you to break down
what are boundaries?
Yes.
Boundaries,
examples.
Absolutely.
You said depending on people though. I want you to.
It depends on the relationship.
Boundaries are contingent upon.
No.
What people.
Give
me an example of boundaries. Like, because you keep saying the word boundaries. When is an example of boundaries?
Like just break it down for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Who are listening, like, oh, she keeps saying boundaries. Like, what does that? What does that mean?
What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like break it down. Like
does that mean I can't be on my phone past 11 p.m. Like, what is a boundary to you?
Absolutely.
What's an example?
So for a man, I guess a boundary would be
To you.
To you, yeah.
Absolutely. A boundary would be you can't go to a strip club.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That would be a boundary.
Give me more. Throw them out there.
I want you to go to look. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep going.
That's good.
You want the right direction.
Here, what's a boundary to you?
What's
What's a boundary to you?
She has the floor.
No, we
I
gonna.
told her
Look,
I'm
man.
gonna-
All right. You know what? I'm about to break it down
What's
on the
some shit
mic
you
real
can't
quick.
tolerate?
All right, look. A boundary to me is about your moral values, man. About what you believe in life, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
If you have a certain belief like me, I don't want my woman looking like a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
What is that?
Derogatory
What's a
term.
hoe though?
What
Because
is
I know
that?
hoes that
To
look
me,
good.
I'm
boy.
gonna get real controversial on this.
No,
a
no,
hoe
no.
to me, listen, a hoe to me, bro. If you're dressing like a specific way to get another man's attention,
Let me break it down right here.
Ooh.
Don't you want your woman? Don't you want other men to be like, damn, that's her? Like damn,
surely.
that's the girl you're dating?
But surely.
So looking good is not. It's essentially a male's perspective.
Looking
because
good is not a
I
boundary
honestly
to me.
feel like
Absolutely.
Look, listen. Like,
a
listen.
woman is free to dress how she wants.
That's
right? I mean,
all the way true.
look. I'm not limiting
It's-
that.
it-
You know what I'm
it's a
saying?
man's perspective.
I'm not limiting that, but like she can dress however she wants, bro. Okay, look. I know I contradicted
What is-
myself.
okay.
That shows
Okay.
insecurity on your
It-
part.
it-
Absolutely.
listen,
absolutely.
Listen, you're right. You absolutely right. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
That's how I used to be. I'm gonna be real on this mic. You know what I'm saying?
Is
Yeah.
that insecurity in a man?
I would say that's insecurity in a man. You know what I'm saying? She could dress however she would like, you know, and I've changed my ways from, you know, being 19 to, you know, now. So she could dress however she would like, but as long as she stays by my right by like my hip and she still does the things that she does, you know, she's still loyal, she's still truthful, she's still, you know, stand by her character. I honestly believe that, you know, she because a woman is entitled to whatever she wants to do, no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I
point blank.
That's how I structure my relationships.
Right.
I let you do whatever you want, and I'll just go off of that.
and that's how I am now.
Same with men though. They can do whatever they want.
Right.
That's not all girls are like that. Not all girls let their man do whatever they want. That's not true. I let my girl do whatever she wants, and whatever she does is gonna tell me how to treat her.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? How to treat her, how to love her, how to whatever. You know what I mean? If she wants to go out in the streets and party it up,
Right.
let's see
And
how
that's-
long.
and
Let's see how
that's-
long that lasts.
And that's
You
what I
know?
meant. That's what I meant by, you know what I'm saying, dressing. Don't take dressing as a whole in a literal sense. You know what I'm saying? Dre kind of helped me out with the point that I was trying to make, though. You know what I'm saying? If you dressing like that and you going out to clubs and parties and all that type of stuff in a relationship, I have no problem. Like I have.
You're
can
not
go.
the one
You
for
can-
me, right?
You
Feel
can
me?
go to the club and you could have yourself a ball.
I'm
but
not
don't
gonna stop
expect
you.
to come back in my house, man. Don't
Why?
expect it.
Just because she dressed up and
No,
wanted to have fun
no.
It's continuous.
Yes, that's
because of men's actions.
No.
No. We're not even saying
It's her
that.
actions.
It's
I
her
be-
actions.
What's her
She
actions?
she chose to dress how she dressed.
Right.
She chose to go out every weekend or whatever with her friends. That's what she chose to
But
do.
she wants to look good. She wants to have a good time.
Okay.
Right.
If she chooses that, she's obviously choosing that over me. Instead of spending time with time with me, what are you doing?
All right, man.
She wants to have a good time. She wants to look good.
If
what's
your
the-
man went
what's-
dressed up and went to the club, whatever, 6 weeks in a row, you gonna stay with him? I didn't think you would. So I don't want to hear that. Exactly. That's my freaking point.
I don't want to hear
wanna
that. Okay.
Even if he invited you.
As long as she's not accepting male attention.
How do you know that?
How
You're
do
not
you know?
there.
Yeah, you have to have faith in
You're
it.
not
Faith
there.
is a scary thing, as we all know. Faith is a
Faith
scary
very
thing.
scary.
You're not there. You don't know.
You're not
Faith
there.
is very scary. And I feel like we should talk about that.
We
because-
should, but we are running out of time. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Let's get quick to faith, and then we're gonna get to our word of the day,
Right.
and we'll get out of here. So,
Okay.
what do you want to talk about faith, real quick?
I feel like faith can be a scary thing because you are believing in a person and you're believing in them and you don't really know what comes out of it. You're just believing in them solely.
Right. Right.
And you have to believe them. And it can be deceiving. I feel like faith can
It
be
could.
deceiving because you have strong feelings for this person and you you trust them, right? And trust is a big thing. So
Trust is the biggest thing.
if you trust somebody, you know, if they lie to you, you still believe them because you trust them. And that's it's a contradiction because you don't really know. And you depend on their word because you think they're telling the truth. But in reality,
when you
don't
find out that they haven't been telling you the truth, they've been lying to you, that really it crushes
it's heart-wrenching.
You. Yeah.
It really is.
Because what else, if they're lying to me about this, what else they've been lying about?
Absolutely.
And you never look at it the same.
Absolutely.
Damn, that's powerful. But hey, I would love to keep going. I
would too, man. This has been emotional roller coaster for real.
Jennifer, we got to get this part 2 going.
Absolutely.
We would definitely get a part 2 in here.
That.
This is part 1. We've done a great job. We're not done quite yet. You know, we still got a few segments to get to, but this has been a great episode. Our viewers are going to love this.
Absolutely.
Don't beat me up for what I said. I don't remember what I said.
Hey,
right?
Me neither. I mean, I'm just keeping it real with my folks in them, man. I mean, I'm just here to, you know, tell you guys my opinions, my beliefs, and the way how I think the world should be. But I mean, hey, to each his own, man. There's no obligation to, you know what I'm saying, what you guys should, you know, say or think or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a free for all.
Look, before we get out of here, I need to get a word of the day. I'm gonna get it from both of you guys because I love both of your opinions today. So, word of the day. What can we walk away with based on the topic we talked about today? What are you gonna tell the people? Look into the camera when you talk. What can we tell the people about today? Word of the day. You want to go first? Go ahead, Jenny.
Absolutely. I would just say have gratitude no matter what. Just be thankful no matter what. If somebody lets you down, if somebody lies to you, if somebody betrays you, just focus on what you're grateful for regardless, because no matter what happens to you, there's always something to be grateful for, and that is the beauty in living life. You can always be grateful for at least something, and I feel like that's what keeps you going, and that's what keeps you ambitious.
Definitely. And my word is having faith. The reason why I say that is because I stand by a certain belief to where, you know, I walk by faith instead of sight, because materialistic things can veer you off in the wrong direction. But if you have faith in the Lord, let me say that again. If you have faith in the Lord.
Say it one more time for us now.
If you have faith in the Lord.
Amen.
You will not get driven off the wrong direction.
You feel me?
Amen.
I'm going to leave it off with that, man. What's your word of the day, Dre?
I didn't even.
You better come up with one. You better come up with one quick.
Okay. Before we get out of here, you know, the word of the day, I'm going to just say, you said, you know, be grateful, have faith. I'm going to say, you know, stay focused. Focus is the word of the day. And not just focus, discipline. Because, look, I know a lot of people who got their sights set on certain goals, and then one little distraction comes along, and it takes like 4 weeks to get him back in the cycle. I'm like, look, just stay focused. Stick to the plan. Write down all your goals. Whatever you have, like you want to get done, like big things you want to get done, write it down and look at it every day. And I promise you'll get them done. My screensaver, y'all can't see it right now. My screensaver is all the goals I need to hit this year. I've hit, I think, about 40%, and we're not even halfway through the year. So I'm striving. I'm trying to get it all done. Even if I get to 90%, even if I don't finish all the goals, I completed most of what I needed to get done. So just like that, we're about to get out of here. New edition of the StartUp Podcast.
You already know.
Thank you, Jennifer, for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Brian
you so
Noel,
much.
for being my
It's always a
co-host today.
Absolutely.
You know, Marcus and Drew weren't here. I had to get my new co-host in here. But look, we got a new episode coming for you guys next week and the week after that. So stay tuned for this summer, because we're about to stay real juicy. And we definitely will get a part 2, because this was a very controversial topic.
Absolutely.
And I might get some, you know, some hate critics for this one, but hey.
But look, that's what it's all about. We just trying to provoke the thoughts, man, if that's going on in your mind. That's all it is.
Jenny, where can people find out more about you before we get out of here?
JENN14ER is my Instagram tag, and you could find me there. And thank you so much for having me. This was a very eye-opening conversation.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely. I would continue a part 2 to get deeper into this and kind of share more experiences and let you guys know to a deeper level what unconditional love means and how it can lead to toxicity.
Thank you.
Now, listen, hold on.
In addition
to that, listen. If you guys did not hear her social handle correct, we will post it down low so you guys can get a clearer vision of it. And you guys will, follow her on her Twitter handles, social media, whatever social media is. So, hey, follow her. You already know what mine is. You already know what Dre's is.
Everybody knows Dre the Agent. Don't forget about Dre the Agent. You feel me?
Young Prodigy.
Dre the Agent, IG.
You already know.
Thank you guys for coming in. Next time.
You already know.
Go.
Entrepreneurship for life.
For life.
One-on-one.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.